There's a kind of desire that doesn't shout. It doesn't text you at midnight or declare itself in heart emojis or desperate confessions. Instead, it lingers in the quietest corners of your interactions. It hides behind casual words and shy smiles. It waits patiently for you to notice, for you to feel what she'll never dare to say. Because when a woman wants you, truly wants you, her instincts tell her to protect that truth. Society has trained her to appear composed, uninterested, even distant. She's been taught that revealing her feelings first makes her vulnerable, that showing desire makes her look needy, weak, or easy. So she doesn't tell you she's thinking about you before she sleeps. She doesn't say that her heart races when you walk into the room. She won't confess that your energy lingers with her long after you leave. Instead, she shows it in the way she tilts her head just slightly when you speak, in how she finds small, unnecessary reasons to be near you, in the way she glances over when she thinks you're not looking, holding your gaze for a split second longer than normal before pretending she didn't. You see, desire lives in subtleties and most men miss it. They think attraction means bold flirting, direct compliments, obvious signs, but those are just surface-level signals. The real truth, it lies beneath, and that's why you're here, because you're done being blind to the truth right in front of you. You're ready to stop guessing and start seeing, not with insecurity, not with overthinking, but with clarity, confidence, and calm, masculine presence. In this video, I'm going to give you 10 silent yet powerful signs that a woman secretly desires you, even if her lips never form the words. These are the indicators most guys completely overlook, but once you recognize them, you'll never unsee them. So if you've ever walked away from a conversation wondering, was she into me? If you've ever laid awake at night replaying a moment, unsure of what it meant, or if you simply want to understand women in a way 99% of men never will, not through tricks, not through manipulation, but through stoic awareness and grounded understanding, then this video will open your eyes to the truth that's been hiding in plain sight. Let's get into it. Most men spend their entire lives waiting for the obvious. They think a woman who desires them will simply come out and say it. They wait for that direct, unmistakable phrase, "I like you," or "I want you." But real female desire, it rarely works like that. It doesn't arrive with fanfare. It doesn't announce itself. It whispers. It shows up in ways that are so subtle, so easily dismissed, that unless you're tuned in, unless you're truly present, you'll miss them every time. She'll act cool. She'll pretend to be unaffected. She might even avoid you altogether, but behind that calm surface, her instincts are pulling her in your direction. You see, female desire isn't just emotional. It's biological, psychological, and incredibly guarded. And why wouldn't it be? Women are taught not to chase, not to expose their emotions first, not to risk their dignity or be seen as too eager. So instead, they speak in code, not with words, but with actions, with energy, with tension, with flickers of vulnerability that only the rare few men will ever recognize. This isn't about manipulation. It's about perception. And it's about becoming the kind of man who sees what others don't. The kind of man who doesn't need to be told. He already knows because he watches, he listens, he reads between the lines. And when he does, everything changes no more. Chasing, no more confusion, no more seconding. When you know the signs of unspoken desire, you gain an unfair advantage, not to exploit, but to move through relationships with clarity, power, and calm self-respect. This video is your key to that insight today. I'll walk you through 10 deep psychological signs that a woman secretly wants you, even if she'll never admit it. Each one is subtle, but once you see it, you'll know exactly what's going on beneath the surface. And more importantly, you'll know what to do next. This is the kind of emotional awareness that separates average men from unforgettable ones. So if you're ready to sharpen your instinct, embrace your presence and finally understand what she's not saying. Let's begin. Sign number 1. Her eyes hold you just a little too long. You're talking casually, maybe about something mundane, and you catch her gaze for a moment. Nothing is said. She doesn't look away. In fact, she holds it just 1 second longer than expected. And in that second, there's a flood of unsaid emotion, attraction, curiosity, vulnerability. Now, she'll pretend it's nothing. Maybe she quickly looks away or fakes a smile, but in that instant, her guard dropped. She was fully present. No distractions, no filters, just you and the magnetic pull. She didn't mean to reveal that prolonged eye contact isn't an accident. It's instinct. Women lock eyes longer when they're emotionally stirred, and if she holds that moment with you, she's already imagining more. Sign number 2. She asks you deep, unexpected questions. At first, it's small talk, but then, out of nowhere, she asks you something that isn't superficial. What's your biggest fear? Have you ever had your heart broken? What do you really want from life? These aren't just random curiosities. These are emotional feelers, subconscious tests. She's trying to see if you're emotionally safe, if you're different, if there's something more behind the surface when a woman desires you. She gets curious about your soul, not just your smile. She starts probing for depth. Not because she's nosy, but because she's invested. Sign number 3. Her energy shifts when you enter the room. This one is visceral. You walk in and, without even looking directly at her, you feel her body react. Her posture shifts, her smile changes, her attention becomes more alert. Maybe she touches her hair or straightens her clothes. These aren't conscious actions. They're biological micro-adjustments triggered by attraction. Even if she doesn't say a word to you, her energy has already acknowledged you. She's aware of you in a way she isn't with others, and her body can't help but respond. Sign number 4, she remembers the smallest things. You say you might have mentioned your favourite book once, or that your dog hates the rain. Maybe you casually dropped a quote from a movie you love. Days later, she brings it up. That's not coincidence. That's emotional investment. When a woman secretly wants you, her mind begins scanning for everything that connects her to you. Even the tiny things. She's not just hearing you. She's storing pieces of you subconsciously, preparing a bridge that links her emotional world to yours. Sign number 5. She finds reasons to be around you, even if they're dumb. Attraction seeks proximity, and when she wants you, she'll find ways to be near, even if they're absurd. She might ask for help with something she could clearly do herself. She might randomly appear in the same spaces you frequent. She'll invent excuses to message you, talk to you, or extend a conversation just a few seconds longer than necessary. It's not about what she says, it's about the pattern: repeated, unprovoked, seemingly unnecessary access to your presence. That's her desire, trying not to look obvious. Sign number 6, she gets slightly jealous but tries to hide it. This is one of the most telling. You talk about another woman, even briefly watch her reaction. She might go quiet, she might smile, but her tone changes, or she might throw in a passive joke. Oh, so you like that type, that little sting. That's not judgment, that's desire, colliding with uncertainty. She doesn't want to look possessive. She doesn't want to admit she cares. But she does, and when she imagines you with someone else, her instincts flare. Sign number 7, she mirrors you subconsciously. Human beings mirror what they want to bond with. And women do this often without realizing it when they're secretly attracted. If you lean back, she leans back. If you use a certain word, she repeats it. If you pause during a sentence, she mirrors. The pacing mirroring is the body's way of building trust. It's silent harmony. If she's doing this with you, her subconscious already wants closeness. Sign number 8, she teases you differently than other men. Pay attention to how she jokes with you versus how she talks to others. If she teases you more playfully or creates a flirty, light-hearted tension with just you, it's not coincidence. She's testing the emotional spark. She wants to know if you'll play along, if you can match her energy. That kind of teasing is intimacy in disguise, it's attraction, wearing humour as a mask. Sign number 9, she talks about the future with you in it. It starts subtly, we should go there sometime. You'd love that place. You seem like the type who'd be a good dad or husband, etc. These are not harmless comments. These are projections when a woman desires you. She starts imagining shared futures, not because she's clingy, but because emotionally she's already taken a step forward. She sees potential and she's giving you the opportunity to pick up the signal. Sign number 10, she gives you that look, the soft one, you've seen it before. That look, not the bold, confident stare, but the soft, lingering gaze, the one where her eyes slightly narrow, her lips part just a bit, and for a moment, the world quiets down. She doesn't even realise she's doing it. It's vulnerability, emotion, unspoken affection in its rawest, most honest form. When you catch that look even once, it's one of the clearest, most undeniable signs. She wants you. She may never say it, but her eyes just did. He is the brutal truth. Most men never learn when a woman desires you. She rarely tells you. She shows you silently, subtly, softly. And if you're not awake, if you're too distracted, too impatient, too caught up in chasing the loud, obvious signals, you'll miss every single one. That's the tragedy of modern masculinity. We've been trained to look for drama, not nuance to chase validation, not presence to wait for permission instead of trusting our instincts. But the stoic man, he's different. He doesn't beg for answers. He doesn't force attraction. He sees clearly, calmly, quietly, because he knows a woman's deepest feelings rarely come out of her mouth. They radiate from her energy, her choices, her micro-expressions, and her hesitation. So when you spot the long gaze, when you feel her pull back, just to pull closer again, when she remembers your words, mirrors your manner, and finds reasons to be near, she's telling you everything. And here's the most powerful part. You don't need to react with desperation. You don't need to pounce. You don't need to play games. You respond with grounded strength, emotional awareness, and complete detachment from outcome. Because you're not chasing her validation. You're holding space. That's what makes you magnetic. That's what makes you unforgettable. If this video opened your eyes even slightly to what you've been missing all along, then it's time to elevate. Hit that subscribe button. Because what we share here at Oldie Stoic is not surface level advice. It's not pickup tactics or manipulative tricks. It's psychological clarity, emotional power, and stoic mastery. Tap the notification bell so you don't miss the next insight that could shift everything, and most importantly, comment below, share your story. Have you noticed any of these signs from a woman recently? Which one hit hardest? I read every word and respond with truth. This isn't just content. This is a movement for men who refuse to stay blind, lost, or reactive. You are becoming the kind of man who doesn't need to be told, because you already know, and once you know, you never go back. Welcome to the rare 1%. Let's continue.